Hi guys,
Hi guys,
I'm Ken
and I'm Betty.
and we are.
The Rages.
Welcome to the workshop.
Yeah.
What is the workshop?
The workshop is where we take a deep dive into the good, the bad, the messy. We will talk about family, friendship, marriage, lifestyle, food, you name it. And at the workshop, we equip everyone with tools to be a better version of themselves.
Yeah.
On this episode, we are handling the letter M, which is for mental health. We will be heading to a pottery studio to see how, remember how we like illustrations and pictures and examples that help us remember these principles?
Yes.
We're going to a pottery studio to see how our lives are likened to clay in the potter's hand. And let's see what we can learn from what we learn there. I'm excited.
Me too.
For all non-millennial parents, pottery is a learned skill. It's not just a hobby, it's a career.
Yes,
All right.
great. So I'll be your instructor for today. So I'll show you how to make a ball using the potter's wheel. Great.
We know nothing. I personally can't even drive, so
And this is the first time I'm seated in front of a potter's stone.
Okay, great. So
tupeleke pole pole.
nitawapeleka pole pole.
Haya.
So the first thing, I'm going to introduce you to this electric wheel. So I do have the pedal on this side. So this is where we're going to regulate the speed from. So the more you press on the wheel, the faster it goes. And if you want to stop it, you can step back and it's gonna stop. Good. So at the same time, I can have it at a constant speed. So I'm just going to remove my foot from the pedal,
All right.
and then it's gonna continue the same speed as I work on whatever I'm working on. So I don't have to necessarily have my foot on the pedal.
So do we start and stop? Or is there a specific time it needs to be rolling, a specific time it needs to be stopped?
So I'm gonna say when we start, we're gonna start at a slightly higher speed.
All right.
But as we go on, we're gonna continue reducing the speed as we move on.
So it just keeps going.
Yes.
Can we liken that to the way life keeps going, but you have to figure
Yeah.
it out as you go?
Life moves and moves and moves.
And
It's
the
up to
mind?
you to decide whether you're moving in a good mental state or in a bad mental state.
We're welcoming you to our class as you teach us.
Yes. Great.
All
So
right.
the first thing we always do when making pottery on the wheel, we're gonna start with the centering process. So as you know, all the pieces we make on the wheel, they are symmetrical.
All right.
So if you don't get the centering right, we might not be able to make
Why are
it.
you saying all right? We didn't know this. As we know, I
I'm
didn't
saying
know
all right
this.
because
It's that
for
important.
me, I'm thinking that asymmetrical, that means balance is key in life, in everything we do. Balance is key.
Even something like pottery,
Yes.
we have to find the center. So
Yes.
even our minds always have to be centered.
Even in marriages, as husband and wife,
We need to
once you
have
get your
our center.
balance, A1.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go.
Okay, great. So to get you started, we're gonna find where the center is. So as you can see, we're gonna use a sponge,
All right.
like to make the surface just a little bit wet, so that the clay can stick on it.
Wait! In the Bible, our lives are likened to being like clay in the potter's hand. And who's the potter?
Our Father God.
He is the one who ultimately has our life plan in his hands. So if he decides we're meant to be a cup, I can't wake up and decide, nope, I'm meant to be a plate.
Yes.
He may decide you're a cup now and a plate later, but that's entirely up to him. And we have to learn how to be malleable.
Yes. There's a difference between malleability and being brittle. Malleable is where you can be molded into a different shape, take a different form, but
Without
breaking. Being brittle is where if you're bent, you can break and snap. But being malleable is taking a whole new shape. Yes.
So I'm going to use a pinch of clay, and then I'm going to dip it in the water, and then I'm going to draw some lines from the centers and move out. how high we go with the cone, it depends with what you're making. So for now, we're making a simple ball. So a simple ball, it's not gonna be so high.
Okay.
So with this cone, it's good enough.
Okay.
But if you were to make like a 12 vase, would have like a very high cone.
Okay.
And then push it down.
Do you want to maybe tell us about strongholds? Because this is reminding me of, it's not simple. Like you don't just, you actually have to put in something.
Yeah, so basically, this reminds me of strongholds. This is the negative behaviors or pathways that we learn and tend to lean on automatically.
By saying that's just how I am.
That,
or
yes,
that's how-
yes. So this shows if we are malleable, we can easily break them and create new pathways in our brains.
But breaking a stronghold is effort. It's work.
You have to do it yourself. And it's not a one-day thing. It has to be done a couple of times for the new pathway to be created. So guys, I think let us concentrate on the pottery, then we'll circle back on the
Once
principles.
this makes sense.
Yeah. It requires a lot of attention.
All right.
Yeah.
Take us away. So, I mean, just like in life, I can see I have my own problems. Ken has his own problems over there.
Yeah.
But we need to work together to get to this. This is the goal.
End goal, beautiful.
That's what we're supposed to be working towards.
So guys, I'm super proud of you. Like, I can see the pieces have gone up. That's good. So at the moment, I'm going to leave you to continue with your pieces.
All right.
And then I'll be back.
All right.
All right. So I think just working on this, what I'm thinking of, first off the bat,
Yeah.
this is life. It keeps going.
Yes.
You have to figure it out. There's no time. You can say, Ati, Ebo, stop fast. No, you have to keep going
Yes.
to create a beautiful work of art.
Yes.
And the way we were created, the way man was created, is not to be in a constant state of, why is my piece wonky?
Yeah.
Why is it leaning to one side? Why do I have a hole at the bottom of my... It's supposed to be a plate. A bowl.
A
It's
bowl.
supposed to be a bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know why I have a hole. Man was not created to keep focusing on the bad, the messy, why it's not
Yes.
working. We're supposed to be focusing on this is where we're going. Life keeps going, so I have to keep adjusting and adjusting, sorting out my mistakes.
The habits we have are created by neurons creating new paths. So if the habits are good, we are okay. We are on a good mental state. If the habits are bad, we're on a bad mental state.
So let's go to science for 1 minute. How is a stronghold formed and what is a stronghold? Right. So the first time you have any thought,
Yes.
when that electrical impulse, I'm taking you to class now. We're in the workshop, but we're in the lab.
In the workshop lab.
In the workshop lab. So biologically, when you have a thought for the first time, there's an electrical impulse that jumps from one
one
place,
neuron?
one neuron to
the
the
next neuron.
Yes, and it starts creating a path. So think about it. We like imagery and illustrations. Think about it like where you're in a grass field and you're forming a path. When you walk there the first time,
If one person walks there, you can barely tell there's a path. But should a whole village walk through the grass field?
the path starts forming.
Yes.
And it's the same thing when you have a thought for the first time. It's kind of hard, it's awkward, you remember. That's why you forget phone numbers,
Yes.
you forget people's names, you forget
Procedures, protocols.
if you've done it for the first time,
Yes.
because your brain is not used to creating that path.
It's not wired.
Yes. So once you do it long enough, it starts to create a highway. And now when you have a highway in your mind, think of an actual highway.
Yeah.
It is hard to break that down.
Yes.
To say, I don't want this highway anymore, I want to form a new path. So whether a good or a bad habit you're forming, the highway is there.
Yes.
And breaking it down takes work
And resilience.
and resilience.
Yes.
So when we talk about establishing positive thoughts, and you have to break down that stronghold, tell us how can we do that?
So for strongholds, now, just to add on to what you said, is even take riding a bike, for instance. The first time you'll fall off, the second time you'll fall off, but after a couple of, say, days or weeks, you'll be able to ride it. So now back now to that, you've already now created a thought and a pattern in your mind. So breaking that, you have now to replace it with something else.
So you
The
take
mind can never be left void.
you take your current thought patterns.
Yes.
You can't say, I have stopped thinking negatively.
Yes.
And that's it.
You can't
have to
live- it's-
replace it with something
Yes,
else.
it's a database. This database has to be replaced with something, not erased. Erasing doesn't work in this case.
All right.
So for item number one or process number one that needs to be taken or to be done is for you to be present in your thoughts. There's something we say being present in your thoughts.
How do you do that?
That's now, even a good example is now the viewers. As we talk, as we discuss, are you present in this conversation?
Or have you started thinking about dinner?
Yes, are you thinking about dinner? Are you thinking about my boss hasn't paid
Or they're
me?
thinking about our signage.
Are you thinking about
They're like, that P is a screwdriver. Their thoughts have already wandered.
Yeah. So be present in your thoughts. The moment you create a self-sustaining system to do that self-check, you'll be like, wait a minute, I've wandered there.
And that way you start to notice when you're having negative thoughts, when you're
Yes.
having passive thoughts, when you're having useless thoughts
And
that are not building you or taking you anywhere.
Yes. And on that case, also for married couples, does your wife talk? Does your husband talk?
And you just
And you don't even know. When they say, what was the last thing I said? You're like, You become a mumu now.
You're just
So,
like, hey,
yeah.
this woman talks too much.
Yeah, so that will help you being present in your thoughts. And also, once you hear God's instructions, it's all about talking about it, meditating about it. Now, after that, being present in your thoughts, step number 2 is replacing the negative thoughts from your mind. You do this by, once you get a hold of a negative thought, capture it,
Arrest it.
tell it that you have no space in this brain and this mind. Get out. And now take a positive thought.
So, for example, as your wife, I am there, here, yappa. How do you take that instead of thinking, oh, she talks way too much? What's one thought you can replace that with? Is it problem solving? Is it what's...
Number 1 is basically even saying, what am I grateful about my wife? She's done this and this. Okay, let me hear her out. And then you come back to the same thing, because there's listening and there's hearing. That's another whole definition of things. You can hear me, but you could have heard of me, but you haven't listened to any
So
word
I'm
I've
hearing
said.
what you're saying, but I'm not listening to what you're actually
Yes,
saying.
yes,
And that way the problem just keeps going round and round,
round.
and we start festering
Yes.
unnecessary arguments or,
Yeah.
as we said, a negative mental
Yes.
health space.
And even a good example is in your everyday life as you walk. If you take a scenario where a boda boda almost hit you, and you take a scenario where a car stopped for you to cross the road, you are most likely to remember the boda boda that almost hit you to the color.
In fact, you even know how that guy looked.
Yes.
He had
so he had
specs.
bearded, he had specs. And now that tells you the body is wired.
I don't remember the color of the car that
As a
stopped to let me
yes,
pass.
as a self-defense mechanism, you're wired to remember the negative things so that you don't repeat them or to avoid them.
So if we're wired to, survival instinct,
Yeah.
we're always remembering the negative and trying to protect ourselves. What's one way to start rewiring ourselves and rebuilding the highways to now form positive thoughts?
So remember we've said that once, you think twice, you think thrice, the highway it's getting
starts
formed.
forming.
Now, one simple step or process you can do is at the end of the day, try to remember 3 good things that have happened to you that day.
I love it when we get homework. That's one thing you can do.
And as you sleep, after you've named that, another 3 good things you're looking forward to the following day.
So before I sleep, I think, okay, today this one thing happened.
Yes.
This one person made me happy.
Yes.
Any good thing that happened.
Yes.
And then as I go to sleep, I'm planning 3 good things I'm looking forward to
tomorrow.
So the more I do that, the more I create
Yes.
a positive, can I call it a positive highway of
Yes.
thoughts? And I start festering a healthier mental health space.
Definitely.
Given that this is what we're working towards, we're not there yet. In life, in friendship, I know for sure I don't have my life in check, that it's at that point. I know even in marriage, there's things we're working on. I have issues with getting the bow up. He has issues with shape. In this life, we all have things that we're working on.
Yes.
So how do we keep going? How do we not give up? How do we, I don't know, what next? Fine, I have the lessons. I know what I'm supposed to do.
So
next?
a few pointers derived from this. We've said fall forward.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It
Once
means you have
life
to be in
hits you,
motion.
when something hits you, you have to be in motion.
You can't stay solitary and say, but
You
that's how I
cannot.
was. That's how
Having your
I
mind renewed, it's a whole different story where you have also to keep on learning. You see, everything is keep on, not stop and. So you have to keep on learning. You have to keep on moving. If it's getting out there, you just have to go. You are in motion.
So is it right to say this is how I am? Because I can say I'm not creative.
Definitely not.
So I'm not creative, so how am I supposed to? That's just how I am.
If, for example, if this clay say this is how I am, you could have been done by the whatever ball you had before that.
Yeah.
But the moment we accept, the acceptance is key.
That we need help.
And I think if I circle back to something, by the time we were starting, we had to center this ball.
Yeah.
So also, what is your center? Either as a single person, either as a married couple, or even as a family.
As a friend, as a parent.
Yes. In that relationship, if God is the center, and you draw from that, and allow him to be your potters, the potter to you as a clay, I think you will be in a good path.
So I first have to be malleable.
Yes.
I can't just say, this is how I am. That's my nature. I have to agree
Yes.
that,
Yes.
A, I cannot do this by myself.
Yeah.
B, I need help. Because I remember it got wobbly at some point and we needed
Yes.
the potter to help
Yes.
us. Where you step back and say, okay, on this one, I need help.
Yes.
I also don't know everything.
And
I
this
can't explain everything.
And this help could be from friends or just agreeing and accepting that there are things in life, they are beyond you. Just turn to God, but at the end of the day, you have to do.
Yeah. You have to be in
You have to
motion.
action.
You have to do something about
Yes.
it. And clearly the two of us are not helping each other. I might come and try to help you with your problem.
Yes.
Meanwhile, mine is getting worse. I might make yours worse.
Yes.
And that's why you need someone who's experienced.
Yes.
Someone who has studied or has a better understanding of whatever you're going through.
Who has experience in that area.
Yes, to help you come up with.
This beautiful thing, the
And
end result.
I guess we can say that this is the state, this could be a picture of my mental health.
Yeah.
Right? It could be a picture of me in marriage where we're happy, we're smiling we're having a good time. We're
Yeah.
generally having a good time. But internally, there's a whole mess going on.
Yeah.
There's a whole madogodhanyo. What's English for madogodhanyo? There's just
Yes.
a whole mess going on. And we have to say, A, we need help.
Yes.
B, we need someone who knows what they're doing. C, we cannot pull ourselves out of this one.
Yes.
And D, we need to keep going. I can't stay here and say, okay, make this here. I have to be in motion.
Yes.
That's what we can learn from this.
Yes.
And our mistakes don't define us. There's so many lessons to learn from this. I mean, I'm curious to hear what anyone else watching can learn. Something maybe
From
we've
this,
not
yeah.
mentioned.
Yeah.
Something that they've learned from whatever is going on here.
And guys, meditate. Meditate on positive things, erase the past, build a new foundation. And that will help you in moving forward. So guys, if you feel like you're struggling with mental health, reach out to us, talk to us, DM us through the details below. And it can be anonymous.
Yeah,
You
we don't have to know your face.
Yeah.
Because mental health, it's way more complex than the things we've said here. This is just the tip of the iceberg. And I feel like I have an exercise for them.
Yeah.
If, for example, you feel like you're lonely, you feel like you don't have friends, you be the friend. You be the friend that you want someone to be to you. So reach out, call a person, plan a date, do something. And I feel like I have an exercise for anyone who may be dealing with some mental health issues. For example, if you're feeling lonely and a bit depressed and like no one is there for you, I think you be the friend. That's the challenge. You go out, talk to someone, be the friend you wish that someone could be to you. Another example, in marriage, you feel like maybe we signed up for this. It's not what I thought it was. It's not working. And you're spiraling, you're going into a dark place. Talk to your person. If you can't talk to your person, hint. Just be like, you know, you're looking nice today, but can we talk?
Yeah.
So don't struggle by yourself. This is something that everyone goes through, a version of it. You wouldn't think so by the way people smile and portray themselves, but everyone has their own level. Remember, mental health can be good, can be bad. Everyone has their own level of where they're at. So talk to someone. You're not alone. And remember, progress not perfection.